Really? What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode on Straight Down the Middle. My name is Cary Hardy, and I talk and do everything pinball. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hit that subscribe button down below. If there's one thing that we all know in this hobby is that these machines are not exactly easy to lift. And there are a number of products out there that can help assist you lifting these things up and down stairs, or pin skates, and a number of other products that are currently available that you can utilize to help you move these things throughout the home. And obviously some of those products have their pros and their cons. And I know that there are you out there that are going, oh my goodness, I know how to do this. I've seen this mod before. It's been on Pinside for years. Or I've even seen other videos on YouTube showing me how to do this. But I want to say this, that you haven't seen it like this. Yes, I have watched the other videos that I've able to find on YouTube, and one thing that I will say that's going to be different about this build is that it will not require any basically special tools, like, let's say for instance, even a drill or a welder. This is going to be done with very primitive tools. So chances are almost anybody out there can build this. The most money you're going to spend, obviously, is for the lifting cart itself, which is available at your local Harbor Freight store. If you don't have a Harbor Freight around you, then that sucks, because Harbor Freight is like our prime destination for tools and other kind of products to help us when it comes to repairing or restoring pinball machines. And I know there's individuals out there that don't go to Harbor Freight because it's cheap or whatever, but that's why I go there, because it's cheap. Because a lot of the times I just need a simple tool to accomplish a simple task, and if it gets the job done in the same fashion as something from Lowe's or Home Depot using your special whatever kind of brand tools. I can't even think of a good brand tool off the top of my head because I just don't care. Let's just say DeWalt, okay? Yeah, you can buy your DeWalt drill or whatever, but I guarantee you that well, I got a rigid drill, so that's not a good comparison either. Anyways, I use a lot of stuff from Harbor Freight because it's cheap and it gets the job done, and that's all that matters. So whether you get this type of lifting cart from Harbor Freight or from another local place like Northern Tool or something like that, chances are this is the kind of thing that you're gonna have to deal with, and what you can do to modify it to do what we want it to do. And the thing is, all this manufacturer would have to do is make it to where this hinge for the cart was able to be moved up and down and out of the way, and then you'd have a pretty much perfect cart for lifting and moving pinball machines. But since this damn cart comes with the handlebars completely erect and immovable, we have to resort to modifications. Now, of course, if you're a welder out there and you're good with metal works, then by all means, you can even improve this mod. But what I'm trying to show is for those individuals that lack basically a lot of skill, and when it comes to welding, this is gonna be something that anybody can do. So that's why I'm doing this, guys. It's not just for certain individuals. This is for those of us out there that are limited on cash and limited on the availability of tools. So the big chunk of money you're gonna spend is, I wanna say it's around the $180 mark for this cart that's at Harbor Freight. Of course, always use your 20% discount code that's always available for a single item when you purchase this. So that's gonna save you another, let's just say 20 bucks maybe, get you the tax knocked off, it's whatever. But it's always just buy the cart, use your 20% discount. If not, wait for the 25% discount day that they usually have, then buy this cart. And along with that cart, all you're gonna need is a couple of hinges that you'll see in the video, as well as some bolts to replace the ones that are gonna be here, and some washers. So along with the cart and the little bitty tools that you're gonna need, you're looking at no more than 200 bucks. So let's get started. So removing the bar is pretty easy. It's just 2 bolts. You take them out and you're able to remove the bar. Next, you want to basically lift this cart up a little bit. That way you're able to keep it on its side and work on it. Now let's go over some of the mechanics of this cart. That way you have a better idea what we're working with here. So this is basically the primary function that allows the cart to move up and down. This bolt and nut is what needs to be removed in order to disable that. So we'll take this out, and that releases the cable that does the work. This is another adjustment that you will need to make later on down the road once we get this all put together, and this is one right here. This is able to be moved up and down like so. This will give you the ability to adjust the brake cable. Then you have these hinges. Now these are hinges that I've already used, obviously, because all I did was basically take my cart already apart that I had built and I'm putting it back together again. So I chose these hinges because there's a bolt hole directly above that. A lot of hinges will basically be kind of crooked and they won't line up this way. So once again, as you can see, very primitive tools just to show you that you can do this. As far as the size of these bolts that I use, they are M8s, 1.25s by 16 millimeters. That is the size that this cart uses for this version. Now this cart is at least 2 or 3 years old, so they may have changed their size. I cannot guarantee you that's the size that you will need, but this is the size that I used. All you do is just tighten these bolts up as tight as you can, keeping this hinge vertical. This will be so much easier if I was using a drill, but I'm using the primitive tools to prove a point. Now comes the part where you'll be using this bolt and a large washer. Feed it through the handlebar and then through the hinge. Now, this would also be easier if this hinge was flat as if it were new, but since, like I said, I've already used it and it's taken a little bit of damage over the years. So, I had to straighten this out in order to get the washer and nut on this. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Then you also want to make sure you tighten these things down very well. There you go. Now you have a handlebar that is able to be moved up and down. Completely maneuverable cart. Now comes the time where it's going to be a lot of, finessing on your end. I cannot tell you exactly how you're going to have to adjust your cart because they are all built a little bit differently. And it may be not up to the specifications that you would prefer. But what I can tell you is that you will basically put the cable fed back through again, and you can adjust the cable to basically make it to where it is in the sweet spot. And that sweet spot, it will be up to you. I removed the cable from this hole right here because over time it's basically kind of gotten in the way and caused issues. So I just removed it from that particular hole. So let's bring this baby down again. Now when you use the handbrake, it's going to pull that mech right there, which allows the cart to lower down. See, that's me pulling on the handlebar. You will need to adjust this accordingly. The sweet spot you want to find is right here at this angle to where the cable is at its tightest, but does not automatically lower the cart. So if you have two people, one person to hold the cart right there and another person to keep that wire tight and then tighten it at that position, then you should be good to go. Because when you raise the cart handlebars all the way up, it will loosen the cable, and when you lower it all the way down, it will loosen the cable. So you want the cable to be at its full extent whenever the handlebars are at that, I want to say, 45-degree angle. I'm just showing you how the cart works, how you're able to move it up and down the way you are. And then it can fold up on top, and you can slide it up underneath the machine or anywhere else you want it. And there you go. If you want to move a machine out to work on it, or move it around the house, this is how it works. There you go. Now, as per usual, guys, every time I do a how-to, there is going to be multiple ways that you can go about doing this. This is merely a blueprint for you to build one to this specification or to make improvements on it. By all means, do it. It's all a matter about what works for you. This works for me. It may not necessarily work for you, so adjust accordingly to your satisfaction. I have had this cart and used it for many years now. It has helped me tremendously when it comes to working on machines, moving machines in and out of vehicles, to hold tools. I will show you clips right here of the things that you can also do utilizing this cart for projects. You can also utilize this cart to help you lift up your clear coating box along with playfields. I show you how to build that box on my channel. And that's gonna wrap up this video. If you like what you saw and maybe even learned something, be sure to give me that thumbs up to let me know. Have you also modified a lifting cart? If you have, let me know how you did it down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, guys, do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below. That way you can be notified of whenever we upload something for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, peace out.